obviously been really short turnaround times. But what I think stood out was to say that we have grown together as a team during these three games, and they've all painted a little bit different story, but they learned us different things, and we've managed to learn things between the games. And today, I think it reminded you a little bit about the game against Houston, where we had a lot of the ball, and we played against an opponent that was quite passive, but also preferring to have a lot of players behind the ball. And I think we learned our lesson from the Houston game, where being that we attacked from minute one, we attacked with numbers, and I think we could have even attacked with more players in the first half, but we corrected that in the second half and we kept attacking. So I'm happy with that. So we're really can always points from those.
Yeah. Coach, what was the message at halftime that you think turned the tides and allowed you guys to convert a couple of times?
I think we did two things. We talked about committing more numbers forward, and we had a couple of good examples of how that looked like in the first half. We also knew that the intensity was going to be important. So some players I told here that you're not going to play a lot in the second half, so you can really go out and sort of make your mark in the beginning of the second half, because then we will have fresh legs coming on after. So we were able to sort of ramp up the intensity a little bit, and I think that was important for us.
I'd like to follow up.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, could you speak to the energy that your players on the bench are putting forward? I mean, Melanie found the back of the net. They've been huge for you guys, and I'd love to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think we had a discussion here last night here on Wednesday, and spoke after the game, and we had a discussion about like how is the competition in the starting 11, and I had this longer rant then about that starting 11 is important, but so is the finishing 11 and having the roles here to come on. And I mean, you take Melanie Barcenas as an example. Her preseason has not really allowed her to sort of build up the minutes during the preseason. So, but we've come to a place with her where we says like the starting point of the season can be come in and help the team and be an impact for 20, 25, 30 minutes. And that's the role that you're playing here now. And I think she's done that ever so well. And this is really important to, sometimes you get these roles because it's what suits your qualities. Sometimes it might be at the moment a physical limitation that comes with that, but just both have an acceptance of that, but also making the most of that. It's important.
Gordon?
You changed your midfield lineup this game after coming off with one of your strongest performances in your midfield connection and possession. What did you either see in Chicago or internally that had you switch that up?
We had some didn't make sense to start Gia poorly of sort of her physical state that she was in. So that was the main reason, because I think Gia played really, really well against Portland. But we are at the place where it doesn't make sense to start any player in our team if they're not able to give 100%. Like, then we will have players in the roster that are able to bring more to the team. That's what I think you saw today as well. So it wasn't anything tactically that we needed to change through the games. It was just the availability of players and who had the freshest legs.
Sebastian?
They've got three consecutive games with a goal. What can you tell me about her goal scoring ability early on in her career?
It's obviously not bad, right? She's composed. She has good technique, which is important when you're trying to score goals. I think we saw in preseason she can score goals on a number of different ways. Now she's been scoring goals where she's been coming much closer to the goal, but we also know she has a really good long range shot. So that's probably something we're gonna see during the season as well. We're hitting one or two of those. So I think she's had a really good start to life as a pro and transitioning from a college player to being a professional player. But in her case, and I said this before, it comes from her having such a good preseason and why she has had a good preseason is because she has put all the details and all the work into it. So she has been able to absorb the training load. She has been able to be one of the players that has been accumulating the absolute most amount of training minutes together with the team, so that she's prepared comes to no surprise.
Jonas, I'm gonna ask you one right here, but you can keep looking at that. Can you just tell me how proud of this group you are after having such a crazy week, getting 9 points in those 6 days?
Yeah, I'm proud of that. And then because it requires a lot of work in being like this 24/7 pro when you're trying to turn around so quickly after the games, and we're all in this connected and we're trusting each other, and every single individual needs to do their part. And obviously as a group, we have been able to do that, and I think we as a group should be very proud of that, and it's really something to build on. And we put the foundation in being able to do it, but it's not as easy as it looks to refresh and recover so quickly. So yeah, very good work.
I'm gonna go Jenny right here.
I just had another question for you about Leah Godfrey. I noticed for this game compared to her positioning last game, especially in the first half of this game, she was more all over the front of the attack. Last game, she stuck more to the right side. Can you explain to me the difference instructions to her and why you chose to have her feel around the front?
Yeah. No, she played a different position today. That's rightly seen. Today she played more as a 10 for us, which has a different area of where you need to go. And against Portland, she played more of a right winger. So yeah, and she can do both. But yeah, she played different positions.
What do you think she's better at?
I think she can do both. As I said, I think she's, again, I think position in itself, it never describes the whole story. It's everything what you ask the player to do in that position. Like, what are the strengths as a player? Or do you have a player that needs to run in behind, or needs a player that needs to be getting the ball to feet? Do you have a player that will dribble on her own, or does she need players around her for combination plays? So it's all about more that to see like what context we set her in. And for me, Leah Godfrey is a combination player. She's a combination player, but she's also an output player. We know we will get attacking plays from her. She plays wider. She will provide crosses with really good quality. If she plays more inside, she will have shots. She will have those like penetrative passes, and then it just becomes what we need and what we like for the day.
Yes, big signing this week. What are your thoughts on adding Katarina Macario to your roster? How do you envision her fitting in their style?
It's very exciting. I've been a long-time fan of Kat, and we when I was at Arsenal, when we knew she was going to leave Lyon there, of course, she was a player I would have liked to have here at Arsenal. And now the world is funny, right? You missed that with one opportunity, but now it came another opportunity, and was able to make that happen. And I think Kat as a player, she's also a versatile player. If we're on that field, she's one of the few players in world football that has the ability to both be a real threat in behind, but also being able to operate in front of a defending backline, which makes her so hard to defend as a player. And now our focus needs to be to provide absolute best platform and structure for Kat to be able to come back in both in as good way as possible, but also in a sustainable way as possible. So she can be really successful both here for SanDiego and for the US Women's National Team.
When can we see her make her debut for the Wave?
I don't know at the moment. And this is important for us that we're taking good decisions. And now we just started to work together, and everything is progressing really well. But we keep our cards close to our chests and let people guess, and then you will see when she's ready.
We'll end it there. Thank you guys. Kick it off. Jenny, go for it.
I have a question for you, Melanie. The fans went Easy for you, I mean.
Awesome.
We have
Okay, so my question for you, Mel, is the fans went crazy for you when they saw you duking so many Chicago defenders before you scored that goal. Can you tell me a little bit about your inspiration and who gives you that confidence in your life? What makes you such a spunky attacker?
Yeah, I think, it's been a very great week getting 2 wins, now 3 wins. And I know when I step out onto the field, I know even just hearing when I get subbed in the crowd, I think it really just, gives me that confidence knowing that I have the whole stadium behind me. Being from here, I'm really happy to be playing on the field. I'm proud when I step on the field and I want to, make the fans enjoy the game. So bringing my flair is what I hope to do every time I step on the field and make it exciting and make fans want to come back every game. But yeah, I think it just felt really good to get out there, help the team secure a win, and yeah, especially with returning from an injury. So it just means a lot, and it means a lot to do it here and, have the support of the fans and, get to do fun celebrations. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Jordan?
A question for both of them. They're both very dynamic and fluid players in their movement. Can you talk to me a little about that movement? Is that a tactical strategy rehearsed in training? Or is that something that you assess on the field?
Ela está falando que vocês são as duas jogadoras muito móveis, muito criativas e que têm muitas movimentos interessantes aí. E sei se isso é trabalhado, se é natural e que ela fala pouquinho sobre isso.
A gente treina bastante as nossas movimentações. Acho que a gente fez uma boa pré-temporada para pegar essas conexões com o time. Então, acho que o time favorece também a nossa formação, favorece bastante o nosso grupo.
Sorry. She said that we work a lot on these types of movements. It ends up being very beneficial to players like them, and also the way that the team plays that wants to have the ball. So both things just combine really well.
Yeah, I think very well said from Dudinha. I think no matter what, we're always allowed to express ourselves, and I think you can see that players. I think you thrive when you play, your own play style. Everyone brings something so unique, and I think within the shape and the formation that we're playing in, I think it's made so that each person can thrive and be successful on the field. And I'm hoping that you guys can all see that based off the last couple of games. And yeah, so I think it's only up from here, and we have so much to work on, but it's really exciting to get 3 wins this past week.
Next question. I'll ask one. Mel, this was your second straight goal, a great goal, and also the 4,000th NWSL goal. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it feels amazing to get 2 goals in a row. I think it's always been hard for me to score goals, but it's finally coming, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's most importantly is just helping us get the win. I think at the end of the day, that's the most important. Any way I can help the team. I know my role right now is as a game changer to come in and hopefully score goals, change the game, and add that flair that you guys are talking about. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got to do that the last 2 games. But the only way I can do that is with amazing plays for my teammates, all the commitment, the hard work. I know Dudinha got 2 assists in this game. So yeah, I think without that, then there's none of the good.
Cool. And one for Dudinha, Rodrigo. Just how is she feeling after 2 successful games, getting some points for the team, and especially the 300th NWSL Brazilian contribution?
Como é que você está sentindo com 2 jogos aqui em casa, onde tivemos muito sucesso, onde você ajudou o time com assistências e foi também o número 300 de gols e assistências de brasileiras na Liga, hoje com as suas contribuições?
Estou muito feliz, a gente trabalhou bastante para isso. Esses 2 jogos que a gente fez aqui em casa a estrutura do nosso time. Acho que a gente tem que jogar sempre assim em casa. Eu estou muito feliz por poder contribuir com gols e assistência, mas eu fico muito mais feliz quando o time joga bem e faz uma boa campanha aqui em casa, e quero agradecer à torcida por sempre estar acompanhando a gente.
She's very happy. Most important thing for her is that the team wins the games and plays well the way we've played. She's very happy to contribute with goals and assists as well, and wants to thank the fans because we worked really hard in training and preseason. So she just wants to thank the fans, and being able to do this at this stadium is really, it makes her really happy.
Great. Thank you guys.